Forte to bring you another good, bad, ugly, underrated, and overrated. This time from the house of Chanel, which is definitely one of my favorite designer houses out there, along with Christian Dior and probably Thierry Mugler. I think those three are probably my favorite designer brands. So let's dive a little bit into the Chanel's background. So Chanel SA is a fashion house founded in 1910 by Gabrielle Chanel, affectionately known and called by Coco, a friendly, lovable nickname that her friends call her, and she became known as Coco Chanel. So Chanel created a real revolution in the fashion world and industry with her simple yet elegant fashions and timeless appeal. She was one of the first designers to introduce pants for women in the fashion world and is widely credited as a creator of a fashion staple, the little black dress. Mrs. Chanel maintained a creative control over the design world until her death and her demise in 1971, when Karl Lagerfeld took the realm and took over as chief designer in 1983. Chanel created similar revolution in the world of perfume with its first fragrance, the iconic and worldly known, probably one of the best sellers to this day, Chanel No. 5, first introduced in 1921. This fragrance continued to be, again, a worldwide bestseller, maintaining contemporary appeal with innovative advertising and celebrity endorsements. Chanel No. 5, along with many of the house's oldest enduring fragrances that overcame the test of time. Designer Chanel has around 66 perfumes or fragrance database, and the oldest fragrance for man was Pour Monsieur, created in 1955, which I don't currently own in my collection. I've had that bottle, and I am pondering getting another one because I kind of miss that classic traditional smell. So without further ado, let me give you a little bit of the background of the fragrances that I have here right in front of you from left to right, the way I usually do. I'm going to give you an insight in each one of these 8 compositions that I have currently in my collection from Chanel, and then I will give you guys the good, the bad, the ugly, the underrated, and the overrated from the brand, in my opinion. Be right back. Alright, Fred, Max Forte again. Now I'm going to give you from left to right a little bit of each one of these compositions before I give you guys the good, the bad, the ugly, the underrated, and the overrated. Starting over here at the left, we have none other than Chanel Anthèse, which is a great traditional. Again, this is kind of like in the same vein as the traditionalist and mature kind of vibe. Pour Monsieur would be like the lighter, more daily kind of wear, and this Anthèse, I like to think this is more of a darker night wear kind of fragrance, where you have coriander, you have the bergamot, and the citruses up top, but then soon enough the myrrh comes through with the rose, the castoreum, some of the flowers, and it becomes quite dark and opulent. Beautiful fragrance, created in 1981. This woody chypre is a beautiful fragrance that will turn heads. So next up here we have Platinum Egoiste, which is also another amazing offering from Chanel. And if you do like a bit floral, but kind of with the woody background, this is a woody floral musk. You're gonna get a lot of flowers. You're gonna get petitgrain, geranium, jasmine, but you're gonna get some amber vetiver and woods to back it up, like cedar and moss. Beautiful fragrance. Reminds me a little bit of this was introduced in '93, and this reminds me a little bit of the Abercrombie & Fitch Fierce, but much better, much richer, better ingredients, and longer lasting, in my opinion. This is fantastic. Next up here from the Allure, the original Allure is right here, which I'll get to in a minute, but this is one of the latest flankers. This is Allure en Sport au Extrême. This is a beautiful woody aromatic. The Sport au Extrême version, I get a much darker, more denser due to the tonka bean, the musk, and the pepper that they add on this. But at the top you get this beautiful combination with the mandarin oranges, the cypress, and the mint. This is beautiful fragrance, guys. I definitely wear this more dressing up but it's very nice, very underrated. A lot of people don't really talk much about this, but it's definitely one that is beautiful fragrance. You get almost like a cocoa vibe to it, even though there's no cocoa listed on the notes. The other one here is one that needs no introduction, that the fragrance community absolutely loves. This is Allure Homme Edition Blanche. This is beautiful key lime pie, very creamy lime, amazing vetiver musk, amber tonka. The bergamot here is very beautiful, Amalfi lemon, some vanilla to make it creamier. Just beautiful, beautiful composition, guys. Amazing. Great for spring and summer. The other one needs no introduction, is the one that started it all with the Allure Homme, line. This is the number one, the one that came out back in the 90s, I believe. I believe this was introduced back in 99, if I'm not mistaken. This is beautiful, guys. It has a crazy amount of notes. It has peach, bergamot, ginger, some flowers, rose, vetiver, sandalwood, leather, coconut, tonka beans, just, crazy mash of notes. But the bottom line is it's a beautiful oriental woody fragrance that you can wear pretty much all year long. Could be a signature scent. I do enjoy this mostly in the fall, though. Early spring and fall. Beautiful, beautiful fragrance, guys. Timeless piece. One that's probably going to be in my collection forever. Beautiful. Allure Homme Sport. The next one up is... I'm sorry, that was Allure Homme. Allure Homme Sport is the next one up. This is definitely the favorite of mine from the Allure line, guys. I absolutely love this. This is stunning. This is a woody, spicy, aromatic. It's just unbelievable. If you like Versace Pour Homme, the one that has the Medusa emblem, the logo here, the blue juice, it's very similar to this. I like this more because this is creamier and it lasts longer on my skin. But they're both great juices, but this is phenomenal. This was introduced in 2004. You get this beautiful aquatic, ozonic note. You do get the aldehydes in here, which brings me to the next point real quickly. I don't want to sidetrack, but Chanel No. 5 is one that has a lot of aldehydes and it's very floral. And to my nose, I really don't like florals. That's the reason why I don't have that in my collection. But this is beautiful. This has aldehydes, ozonic, aquatic notes, mandarin oranges up top, some neroli, black pepper, cedar, tonka beans, vanilla, amber musk, and it has a little resinous too with the elemi resin. This is a beautiful, beautiful fragrance, guys. I get so much compliments when I wear this. This is definitely my favorite from the line of the Allure. The next one here is one that started out being a little bit of an outcast. Some people didn't really appreciate this woody aromatic composition, the Bleu de Chanel. So all of a sudden this becomes this amazing go-to guy, easy to wear, dumb reach kind of fragrance. Why? Because it's getting so much compliments from the opposite sex or your significant other. So because this is such a compliment getter, it becomes this amazing status fragrance from Chanel. This was introduced, and by the way, there's an eau de parfum version of this, the same as Edition Blanche. Apparently, after the oud wagon, everybody's getting into the eau de parfum wagon, so everyone's releasing eau de parfum version of anything. But to be honest with you, I like the EDT better. Didn't see that much of a difference in the EP, so I'm sticking with the EDT. This was released in 2010. This has incense, ginger, nutmeg, has mint, vetiver, cedar. I just love this, and some patchouli as well. This is fantastic, guys. It's a compliment getter. You're going to get noticed, and you're going to get complimented like there's no tomorrow. So this is definitely one of my favorites, and always going to be part of my arsenal. This is Bleu de Chanel. And last but not least is one that I would love to find an Eau de Toilette Concentré version of this. If anybody has Egoiste Eau de Toilette Concentré, please, if you're looking to sell it or swap it, please get in touch with me, because I've been searching high and low and I can't seem to find it anywhere. This is a woody spicy. This is Chanel Egoiste. It is the second most appreciated fragrance that my significant other loves to smell on me. And it is beautiful, guys. It's all I can say. Okay, this is originally introduced in 1990, so it's a 90s baby, but it smells fantastic. You get geranium, rose and cinnamon, coriander, Brazilian rosewood, as well as mandarin oranges up top, precious woods, and you get dried fruits and mahogany with this. Leather, amber, tobacco, vanilla, and sandalwood at the dry down. This is absolutely fantastic, guys. If you haven't gotten your nose in this, please, you gotta try this. So this was the 8 current Chanel compositions that I have in my rotation right now. I've had others like Pour Monsieur. I've had the Parfum version of Chanel, the Bleu de Chanel. But for some reason or another, I just, got rid of them. Didn't work with me as much as I thought they would. But these guys stayed, and I do love them. So stay tuned next. I'm going to give you the good, which will basically be, the safer, one that everyone should have in their collection. The bad, which will be, if it was, reformulated, if it doesn't perform well, whatever the case may be, that will be the bad. And the ugly will just be, just an ugly release overall from the brand, if there is such a thing here with Chanel. And then the underrated and overrated, as the name implies, it will be the most, overrated of the brand, and the one that's the most underrated, that definitely deserves a little limelight. So stay tuned, guys. I'll be right back starting with the good. Alright guys, Max Forte again with this good, bad, ugly, underrated, overrated, starting with the good. From the house of Chanel, it's going to be none other than my favorite, guys, Allure Homme Sport. Allure Homme Sport's just fantastic, beautiful, citrus, you just can't go wrong with Allure Homme Sport. And it works at every single level, and you're going to smell fantastic, whether you're going to wear it for work, or you want to wear it in the office, or casual, dressed up. You're just going to smell fantastic and attract a lot of compliments. So Allure Homme Sport is definitely my good from the brand of Chanel. So stay tuned, guys. I'm going to give you the ugly coming up next. Alright guys, I meant to say the bad. So the bad from Chanel. The bad from Chanel, I would have to say Egoiste. Only because, I love the fragrance, but the reason why I'm doing it as the bad is because, number one, the Concentrate version was discontinued. I believe this has been reformulated, so it doesn't last as much as it used to. This is an older bottle. I get tremendous performance out of this, but I've heard that newer versions are not doing as well as the older bottles. So I will give the bad to Egoiste, unfortunately, because of reformulations and being the hardest one to find. But guys, if you can get your nose in this, you must. It's a phenomenal fragrance. So let me give you guys the ugly coming up next. Stay tuned. Alright guys, the ugly from the house of Chanel. It was very hard for me to pick up an ugly from the house of Chanel because, again, it is one of my favorite designer houses. But because I have to pick one, I'm going to go with this guy right here. Allure Homme Sport au Extrême. It is beautiful. It is kind of like the same DNA as the Allure Homme Sport, and what you have added to this is a heavy note of vanilla and tonka. Very, very heavy. And at the dry down, you almost get this cocoa vibe, which is beautiful. There's nothing wrong with this fragrance, but I had to pick an ugly. I have a lot of fragrances that smell kind of like this, especially in a niche vein of things. So it is one that I probably wear the least, and as you can see here, it's the smallest bottle I have. So that's why I think this is 1.7. Yeah, this is a 50 ml. The Chanel Egoiste, I have a couple bottles. That's the one I'm currently wearing, but I have a bigger bottle as well. But this one I only have one, and this is the 50 ml. So that's why I'm giving this, the ugly. But it is a great fragrance nevertheless, guys. Stay tuned for the overrated and the underrated coming up next. Alright guys, starting with the overrated, it's one that I truly adore, but it's gotten tremendous amounts of overrating from the fragrance community. So I'm gonna go with Chanel Allure Homme Edition Blanche. It is very, very beautiful. It's kind of like Allure Homme Sport, and you get a little creaminess. I would even say the smell is very similar to Versace Pour Homme. And again, what you get with this, it makes it unique, is you get this this key lime pie vibe at the dry down. It's very beautiful, creamy, vanilla-y, lime, musky dry down with the tonka beans and everything. It's just a beautiful, beautiful composition, but it's been overrated to death from the fragrance community. That's why I'm giving this as the overrated. Now, stay tuned, guys. The underrated, you're probably going to guess it, but stay tuned. I'll be right back. Alright, guys, last but not least, the underrated from the house. The underrated from the house, Antheas, guys. Antheas is a beautiful fragrance, guys. This has more of a traditionalist, more mature feel to it. But if you're not scared of wearing something that is really unique and it's going to set you apart from the crowd, you know, this is a phenomenal fragrance. It was introduced, again, this is a Woody Chypre, 1981. It's a beautiful fragrance. You get a little bit of animalic note with the castoreum, but it's not overbearing, and it's just beautiful. It has a phenomenal citrus up top. You have a little resin that starts off, you know, with the myrrh, some flowers, you know, the rose and the heart is just beautiful. It comes to life, you know, after the first, you know, few minutes of wearing the fragrance, and then you get some patchouli and moss to embellish the fragrance and give it body. It's just a beautiful fragrance, guys. Definitely underrated. I don't hear much about this, and definitely deserves a little limelight. So let me give you guys again a recap. This is the most underrated, this is the most overrated Chanel L'Or Edition Blanche, and then we have the good Chanel L'Homme Sport, the bad, which is Egoiste, and the ugly, which is really not ugly, Chanel L'Homme Sport Au Extrême. So that's it, guys. Those were the fragrances that I picked. You know, thank you so much. I appreciate the subscribers. I thank you so much for your comments. Please like, comment, subscribe for more. And stay tuned for my 2,000 subscriber giveaway coming up soon. And I'll have more content for you as time permits. As always, thank you so much. This is Max Forte signing out. Talk to you soon.